Hey besties, welcome to my new video. First off, Happy New Year. It's 2019, so let's make the best of what we have. So what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is the brand new monthly that I listed last night. It is called Love Story. It's not specific for any month, however, I did design it typically to be used for February, but I also thought that it'd be great if you could use it during the month of your anniversary. It does have some balloons. You could technically even use it for your birthday. So let's first get started. I wanted to show you all that you do not need to have a silhouette cutting machine in order to do what I'm going to show you today. You just need the free software, and you can get that by going to silhouetteamerica.com and clicking on Update Software. Then you would download the current version for Mac or Windows, install it, and open it. So we're going to do that now. So once you get it installed, or if you already have it installed, go ahead and open up your Silhouette program and get your files started. So I don't know why it's not wanting to open. Here we go. Oh, I already had it open. Good one, Stephanie. Anyway, it's early. So I have the files. There are, the monthly does come with an Erin Condren version, Recollections, and Happy Planner classic size. I don't do the big or the minis as of yet. I was starting to do them. We'll see how that goes in the future. I do also have a B6 that's for basically for the Annie plans, but you can crop and resize that. So right now we're going to open up the Silhouette files for the Erin Condren. So these are all the ones you get, and we'll open each one. Alright, and then this is the alternate file with the sidebar checklist. Then you get your different girls' hair color, skin tones. There are 4 different choices altogether. You get blonde hair, brown hair, like a dark hair, a brown hair, and then a dark skin. Those are the 4 that came with this clip art, so I try to always include all of them unless they just have way too many. And then we have the foil overlays. Oops, did not mean to hit that button. And this is the second sheet, so technically it's a 2-page monthly printable. And then the second page overlays. Okay, and then it also has the February holidays, and that is a separate file. So there's no holidays included with the monthly any longer. They are right here, and I'll show you how you can, crop those and bring them into your monthly. The other thing that I have created was a cover, and of course notes pages. So I will show you the cover. It does not come with a cut file, primarily because you just trim it. So that is the back, and then it has the different color hairs as well for the girls. So you'll have each one of them, and you can turn those into a cover or resize it for your dashboard and your TN or your A5s, whatever spiral, I guess they call it rings, or whatever else you have. So you could even cut it down, make a sticker, and stick it in something. I mean, endless possibilities. Okay, Then let's go ahead and open the notes, just so you can go ahead and see those while we're here. You get 2 notes pages. These are not foil ready. Okay, so we're going to go back here to the month, and I'm going to use this for February, so I'm just going to click on February and copy it. And that's where I say it comes into use to have the Silhouette software, even if you don't have a Silhouette machine. You can prep your files, get them ready to print before you print, and that's what we're going to talk about. And then you could just paste in front, and then just move it where you want it. You can, it's fully customizable, so you can change the color of the fill if you don't like what it looks like. It already also has a line color, so you can take the line color off. So that is the months, and like I said, it does come with every one of them. If you want to make it bigger, you can, or you can make it smaller. You can put it anywhere you want. Alright, so that is how you add the month to the page. And then if you don't have a Silhouette and you just want to print this with the month on it, you could print it as is with the registration marks, or you can remove those by going to the page setup, which is this very first tab, and then clicking on registration marks and putting them off. And then you can go ahead and hit File and Print, and it will print to wherever you choose. And then it will print with the month on, and then you can hand cut them out. So we are going to talk about cropping. Alright, so if you want to crop, I know we've discussed this method quite often, but what you want to do first is move the blue lines or get rid of them completely. We're just going to move them over to the side, and then I'm just going to go over here with my mouse button, and I'm going to hold it down, the right button, and then just drag and select everything here. You can also select all, but that's going to select the blue line, so then you'd want to get rid of the blue line, and then you can go to select all. Let's close these windows here, and then we're going to open up another panel, and it is called Modify, and it's this little box with a circle, and then we're just going to click on Crop. So what this has done, it has taken the cut lines and kind of cut each individual shape out of the paper. So now you can only print and cut what you want. And this is good as if you don't want to, like some of the stuff you may not use. So you can, you know, just print and cut what you want. Move things in from one page to another. So say you want to, you just want to cut, you don't want any of this stuff, or you want to, you know, just move stuff around. You can, you know, put everything within the gray lines and make stuff fit a little bit better. If you are comfortable, you can go to the setup page into your registration lines and move your left and right insets out so you can get more on a page, especially if you're hand cutting. So you do this crop method, get more on your page, print it, and then hand cut it. If you don't care that, you know, I mean, when I design these pages, I design them so they could be cut easily, cut apart, and, you know, put away without much thought. And you don't have to worry about, oh, if I'm going to use this sticker, you just cut it all out. But if you're trying to save money by only cutting what you need, this is a great way. And there's ways you can, like, you know, rotate these. So rotate 90 degrees, and then maybe you could try and fit them on the side. I mean, it's really up to you guys on how you want to crop and reduce the amount of items that, you know, pages that you're printing. So once you have everything on your page that you want to print and you're ready to send it, now see, this wouldn't work because it's in the red line, so I couldn't put that there, but that was just I was just trying to show you guys. So let's put that back where it was. Okay, so once you have this all filled up and where you want it, you could print it, like I said, if you're hand cutting. But if you're not hand cutting and you're using your silhouette, please make sure that your silhouette cuts well with using the left and right insets moved out. If it doesn't, you might want to restore to defaults and use the lines. So we'll go to hit send, and it's going to be online because that's what we would have done if we had kept it the way it was originally, but we didn't. So we're going to go to simple, and then you can see there's nothing lit up because it's on no cut. So what you're going to have to do is just hold in that right mouse button again, or it would be the left, excuse me, the left mouse button, or yeah, so you have to select it all. So you now see everything selected, and then you can go to cut edge. Okay. Now you want to make sure that nothing really is touching. Okay, I want to move those up a little. Okay. Now you'll see that everything has a red line, and that's where it's going to cut. Make sure that you choose the right material. Typically it will be on sticker paper white. You'll want to make sure it's on cut. This is the blade that you have. Typically you would have the ratchet blade unless you have a Cameo 3 or Portrait 2, and you need to make sure you choose your silhouettes, the correct blade, your auto blade if that's what you're using. If you have an auto blade and you choose ratchet, then it's not going to cut properly because it's only going to cut with what the settings are for the ratchet blade. So make sure that is on cut edge. You'll want to change, this is your blade settings, so you want to change these, and these are going to be variant on you. It's going to depend on your blade, like how long you've had it. If it's dull, you might find that it's taking, you know, it's not cutting as well, so you have to play with it and bump it up. The speed, I usually leave it where it is. If you're noticing that your edges are cutting or some stuff's not cutting right, you can turn the speed down so as it's going across, it's slower, so it's cutting, you know, I guess it has more time to cut through it, I would say, instead of going through it really fast. So you can bump that down. I would say, you know, it just really depends on your machine. The force is the amount of pressure that it's going to apply while cutting. The higher the force, the more likely it's going to cut through to the backing. And then you'll have difficulty peeling your stickers up, or you'll end up with sticker confetti. I actually use like a 6 because I have a new blade. Passes is how many times it's going to go around and cut. One pass means it's just going to cut the one time. This right here, if you check this, it's basically just saying that like it's gonna just like slightly cut off the side a little. I don't use that, but it's just so you can make sure that it finishes the cut all around. I don't find that it's necessary, but if you're having issues with cutting in the corners, like tearing or ripping or not, or like they're cutting not correctly, then you can check that box. So these are the settings. One thing I did want to talk about will require me to switch on my silhouette, so we'll do that real quick. If you have the new Cameo or the Portrait, you have 2 housings for your blade, so you could technically have 2 blades in there, and choose which one you want. So you could have like a ratchet or a deep cut, or, you know, two. So you'll see that it has tool 1, tool 2. You'll want to make sure that wherever you put your tool that you're choosing the correct one. If you put it in the one with the blue, you need to check and bring down your tool 2 and make sure that the settings are there. It's basically going to mirror the same as the red. So make sure that you have the selected tool color. The housing has 2 holders. So the one on the left is the red and the one on the right is the blue. And then down here, when you're ready to cut it, you would need to make sure that you chose the correct one. Okay, so down here is your queue, and it will show you how many devices you have. It depends, like you might see some stuff on my silhouette that you don't have buttons for, and that's because I have the business edition. I don't recommend that you purchase the business edition unless you need those extra features. On the website, it will break down the features and what each of them have. I would recommend like at least upgrading. You can get the designer edition on Amazon for $25-ish. The last time I checked, I think it was around 25 to 30. That will unlock some more stuff that you're able to do, like importing different things. The business edition I got because I wanted to be able to export SVG files, but it didn't end up working the way I wanted it to, so I haven't really got to use that feature too often. But I have it if I need to. So you can do a test cut, and what that's going to do is cut a little triangle approximately up here in this corner so you can test how it cut before it finishes cutting the whole page. Now I would say that you can watch it while it starts to cut, and if you notice that it's cutting completely off, you can stop it, eject it basically, and then try again. So I would say if you're worried about how things are going to cut or if you're having issues, watch it while it's cutting so you can see. That way you can kind of salvage the page. You can just put it right back in and recut it. Then only a few stickers would be messed up. When you do that, you might have to reset the software. You know, it might still show like it's paused or something. You would just kind of X out of it. So we're going to go back into design mode here. And I thought that we would talk a little bit more here about the settings. So let's just go through crop one more time. So you can click the blue and delete it. So you see this is the way the page looks before. Now let's left click or right click and go to select all, and now it has selected the white, the background and all the red lines. And we're going to go to that modify panel and we're going to hit crop, and then now it's cropped everything. So if you're having issues where you're cropping and it's not popping things out, or it pops some out, or some stuff disappears because you notice the logos disappeared, you're going to have to check the cut lines. Now mine won't have that problem, but I'm talking about if you have purchased something from somewhere else and you can't get it to cut right. So what I will do is just move this off so I can see the cut lines. I'm going to double click on them. Sometimes what happens is the path will break. So you see how there's this red dot here? If you just kind of click on it, it's going to connect the path again. So if you click on them and you do not see the red path or the red dot, you'll know that the path hasn't broken, because that's what happens when the path breaks. Then it doesn't crop correctly. I know it's a pain in the butt to fix every single one, but that's what happens, and I'm not sure why this is happening with some cut files, but I don't know if it's the way they make their cut lines or if it's, I just don't know because I don't know their process. But my cut lines don't have broken paths, so that should never be an issue. If you come across that problem, something else is going on. Maybe you forgot to delete the blue line. Alright, so let's talk about the holidays. We're going to do that same thing. We're going to get rid of the blue line. Right click, select all. And then we're going to crop these. Maybe. Okay. Now that we've cropped them, let's go ahead and take Valentine's Day. I gave you a few. We'll take Presidents, Lunar, let's go with Groundhog's Day, and I even stuck a Grammys in there. Okay, then I'm going to cut these and take them back to my month, and then I'm going to paste these here. You could actually paste these in the second file. Oops, here. So I made each one of these boxes for a holiday. So obviously I made this one for Valentine's, so you could put Valentine's Day down there. This one I think I made for Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year. Let me just look real quick. No, this one is Groundhog's Day. Okay. So Groundhog's Day. And then either one of these you could use for Lunar. I like this one for Lunar and this one for President's Day. Okay. And then you have months on them, or you can put them down here. You can make them just a little bit bigger if you wanted. That wouldn't work there, but that's fine. It's really up to you where you want to put your holidays. Like I said, this is just to save if you're not gonna print this whole holiday foil kit. This is foil ready, so you can foil these. You could put, so say you want the March on the month and paste it in front. You could shrink it down, put it here, or wherever you would want it. Or you can print it, foil it, and stick it. And don't forget your month. I'll just copy and paste that in here. And then of course there is years, the same way. So you could copy the year. Oh wait, sorry, the years are over here as well. And then put that on the to page. And remember, these are also fully customizable like the original ones were. I think that pretty much covers everything for the new monthlies. If you have additional questions, make sure that you, oh, I did forget something. Okay, so the foil overlays, you can, they're not, I mean, they're all just separate here. I didn't print them to PDFs. I just made them so you could change them out if you cropped, or you want to put a different month in, and you're welcome to do that. So if you have used the crop method and you need to move the overlays around, you're able to just copy these. And then what I recommend you doing is grouping all of this together. So right click it all, or select it all, right click it, and group. This will just help you when you are arranging the foil overlays where you want them. So once you have everything in place, let's fix this here. What you'll need to do is then select all the black. So the best way to do that is select by color, and then just click on that, right click, and cut it. So you're going to have to either go back to the net page, where is it, foil overlay, I have to get rid of this one, and then hit paste in front. If you want to, you have the ability to, you can paste it in a new layer on the same page. So the way you can do that is to open up the layers panel. I always forget where it's at. So just go to panels up here and then choose layers. I think it's this one down here. Okay, it is. Open the layers panel and then hit the plus button, and then so it's checked into the second layer, and then you can put paste in front. So when you're printing this way, you want to make sure that you hide layer 2 while you're printing to your inkjet, and then you can click it and show it, and then hide layer 1, and there you go, you have your foil overlays. Make sure you remove your registration marks as you're printing to your laser, because you'll want those on the layer 1 only. So that's how to do your foils with using layers. Alright, I think that honestly covers everything I wanted to show you guys now. Like I said, if you have any questions, please leave them as comments and I will help you the best I can. If you have a specific issue, just send me a message. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope to make more videos, so if you have any suggestions, also you can let me know. Make sure you join our Facebook group to get access to all of our exclusive codes and chat. Sometimes I'll run sales and I won't announce them, I'll just put the code in the group. It's also really, I think, a great community for other planners to talk to people. You know, I don't police it a lot. If you have things that you want to share from other places, I do allow that. So I try to make a nice little group and environment for everybody, and you know, just a place where you can chat and stay up to date with what's going on and what I'm working on. I am active in the group, so if you have questions, you're free to ask. If I don't answer them right away, somebody in the group that knows the answers always hop in and help. Thanks again. Bye now.